This conference will now be recorded.
In the IPv4, how many bits of how many bits are there in the IPv4?
32.
32. Okay, I think. Thanks. I think this is the first time you spoke, right? Thanks, you spoke something. So 32. So now this is going to be divided into 4 octets. Is 32. So each octet will going to be divided into 8, right? 8 and 8. So this 32. So now here you guys need to understand about the this respective subnetting, right? 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 8, 24, 24 plus 8, 32. 24 plus 8, 32. So this is one main important thing. 24 plus 8, 32 here. So now here you need to enable the, so now here you need to enable the respective, right? You need to enable the respective subnetting for this. So what is subnetting and why does you need to work on subnetting? Firstly, any idea what is subnetting? Why does you need to care? Or what is subnet? Why does you need to care? So the subnet will help us the logically dividing of IP addresses, logically dividing of IP addresses, right? Logically dividing of IP addresses. The subnetting is the logically dividing of IP addresses here, right? Subnetting is the logically dividing of IP addresses here. So now here you need to understand about the subnets here and the subnetting. Both are same. Will help us the logically dividing of IP addresses, or in other words, for the effective use of IP addresses. For the effective use of IP addresses, right? For the effective use of IP addresses. For the effective use of IP addresses. Either of these two. So subnetting will help us logically dividing of IP address or for the effective use of IP address. So now here, if I say it's a /16 or /8 or /23, right? What is the meaning of it? If I say /8 or /16 or /23, what is the meaning of it? Here it will have the ratio of 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Similarly, here you have an octets bits here. Similarly, you have an 8 bits. Similarly, here you have an 8 bits. If I say /16, 8 plus 8, 16 will going to be filled. And this is your free IP addresses. This is your free IP addresses. If I say the CIDR as in the class B, what is the series of class B here? What is the series of class B? Yesterday you spoke. You discussed about the class B ranges.
128 to 191.
128 to 191. Excellent. So what is the private IP address series for that class B? Private IP address series for the class B. Private IP address series for class B. 10 dot. Have you remembered that? Private IP address series of class B. What is the series? Pramod, Jiva, Avinash is not there.
10
What
dot
is the private IP?
10.255.255.0
Class B starts from 170 to 16. Class A starts from 10.0.0.02 10.255.255.255. So here, if I say 10.0.0 slash 16 in the sense, this 8 plus 8, 16 bits got filled actually. These two octets got filled. What is your remaining here? You have a remaining here with regards to 0.0 to 255.255. For a simple mathematical calculations, you need to go with an IP subnet calculator /24. You no need to do even mathematical operations. You don't need to spend your time on this because this is already right. This is already has been predefined. So I prefer to go with this jodias.de, which gives an appropriate picture for you. This guy is so now here I would like to go with a series of 10.10. Right, 10.10.0.0 slash 16. Right, 10.10.0.0 slash 16. So if you observe that when I use the 10.10.0.0 slash 16, the host IP address range is 10.10.0.1 to 10.10.255.254 and broadcast is 10.10.255.255. So what is the meaning of this? Right? What is the meaning of this actually? What is host? What is host here?
PC
What is host?
computer.
Sorry.
PC host
Yeah.
computers.
Server. Yeah. Specific device in a network. Right? Specific device in a network. Right? Specific device in a network. What is network? A group of hosts, right? Which is going to be connected with each other so that they can communicate. Right? So now here, this meaning of this host IP address range here, this host IP address range here, you can allocate the host from 10.10.0.1 to 10.10.255.254. Right? Those many devices and those many hosts that you guys are going to be enabled. Those many hosts you guys are going to be enabled here. That is one main important thing here you need to understand. So that means how many hosts you can allocate in your network. 65,536 hosts you can able to allocate in your network. That is the meaning of this respective subnet of /16 here. This is your respective subnet mask. Am I clear on this? When I use 10.10.0.0/8, right? So how many hosts I can create here? 16 lakhs hosts I can able to create in my network. Right? 16 lakhs hosts I can able to create in my network. That is one main important. 16 lakhs hosts I can able to create in my network. That is one main important thing. Am I clear on this? What is the meaning of /16? What is the meaning of /8? What is the meaning of /23? Right? If I use /23 here, I can able to appropriate 512 I can able to do. So while designing your network, while designing your VPC, the first component is to decide your respective network range, which helps us to decide your number of hosts that can be hosted on your network. Am I clear on this? Any question or any doubts? What is the purpose of this one?
Shubhak, so /23, 8 and 16 is where decided. So that might be any class, right? Not only on class A, correct?
No, when you are into this one, when you are into class A, you are selecting the CIDR with only the class A, right? Only for the class A. You need to select your subnet within the class A, within that CIDR, right? which is a cider. Am I clear on this? Within those cider only you need to do.
So how come it is 23? It should be 24, right?
That depends. There should be on stateful. There are be on stateless here. That depends actually. Right? That depends. I can also give 21 as well. 22 also. There is no harm for me. Within that cider I can do anything. But only from the 0 to 32. I cannot do the 33 here. This is my range, right? This is my range. 32 is my range actually. 33 if I give, it will not be able to take. This is my range actually. I can give 20, 16, 14 as well. What's wrong in that? Within the 16, whatever the cider which I have selected, I can give up to /32. I can give. This is my subnet mask, right? That's how it works, right? So there is a formula actually, but you don't require. You don't need to spend time on that formula. It will confuse for you at this moment. You are not working on the networking part. Just ignore. Just use this one, right? This is the automated fashion here. You need to use this one. There is a formula called 2 power n minus 1, whatever these things are there, right? So those, whatever your subnet mask and how can you do it, right? 2 power n minus 1. So that will going to be there, right? So now here, now to create your VPC, what is the first component you require? The cider actually, right? Cider. Classless intra-domain router, or which decide your network range. This decides your network. Which decides your network range, right? Which decides your respective network range for your respective VPC. What is this? For your respective VPC. CIDR. CIDR is the one. They will ask you what is CIDR first, right? Classless inter-domain routing, which decides your respective network range of your respective VPC. This is the first main step. This is the first main step here. And secondly, right? And secondly, right? And coming to the subnets here. This is an, if suppose I selected this one, my cider should be. Remember, class A you should select actually. Class A you should select in your real-time environment, not for the class B. Why not class B or why not class C? Why should I need to select only class A in my real-time environment? Why should I only select in the class A? Any guesses actually? Yesterday I have discussed this thing actually. Class C is for your local network. If you use your respective local network, class C is completely for your local network. So it will create the conflict when you are need to connect into your device. It will create your conflict. So now here, what you guys need to do is you need to enter into the concept called class A as your cider. And why not class B? Class B already has been completely taken care by the respective AWS guys. Again, it will create a conflict. So you should do the respective class A action. You should do the respective class A action. This is how it works. Right? This is how it works. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts? So now here the subnets is going to be logically dividing of IP address. So now here if I select, so remember these things, this is an interview question. Why not class? Class A is for your respective production network range. Class A production network range. class B is for respective AWS network here, and class C is for respective LAN. That means your system administrator within your local system will use. That's how it works. Subnet is with the logically dividing of IP address. Right, the logically dividing of IP addresses here. Right. So what is the purpose here? For the effective use of IP address. For effective use of IP address. For effective use of IP address.
I have one doubt. Issue whenever we are spinning up the instances, right? So automatically we are getting one private IP address, right? With the for a real-time scenario, I'm just while spinning up, it is coming with 10 dot range. So that IP address providing by AWS, or whether that has been configured through our network team, from like how just I like want to.
That is will going to be decided by your VPC, in which VPC you are configuring.
Okay.
In which
So
VPC you are configuring.
okay.
Now
So
I'll show you the practical. I will show you. You get to know. That is decided by your respective network. In which VPC you are selecting, in which VPC you are hosting your respective machine. That will decide by your respective VPC. Right? That is it. And secondly, so here now I am selecting the range of. This is by default actually. In your real time also you are selecting the same range of IP address class A only 10.10.0.0/16. This is default actually. Anyone can select this 10.10. Right? Anyone can select. So this is not going to be this is an unique actually. People will select 10.10.0.0/16 or 10.20 or 10.30, 10.40 up to at what range they can select. Up to the what range they can select. 255. That is true. Right? I am selecting. So this is the series generally they will select. In the real time also blindly you can say in the interview what is the series you guys selecting 10.10.0.0/16. Right? 10.10.0.0/16 here. That is how you guys are going to perform in the activity. And secondly, you need to understand about this. How many hosts I can create within this respective network? 65,536 hosts I can able to create. So this is my CIDR. Now the subnets will going to be created. This is my CIDR. Now the subnet is going to be created here. Like public subnet here as well as private subnet. Public subnet as well as private subnet. So before understanding about this public subnet as well as private subnet, right? Before understanding this public subnet and private subnet, you need to understand the concept called gateways. As of now, this is clear. What I'm trying to say. This is clear for you. Up to here is clear. Any questions, any doubts? Listen carefully. This is only the deciding factor of your interview. This phase 2 is your deciding factor of the interview. Whether you guys are attending for DevOps, whether you are Kubernetes certified, doesn't make sense actually. If you are good at networking, if you are good at the phase 2 of VPC, then only you guys are going to crack the interview. Otherwise, there is no point of attending for the interview. Even though you crack the interview, the sustainability is very less in the DevOps. DevOps, they can hire anything, they can fire like anything if you are not capable enough. This is your deciding factor. So now here, you need to understand about the two things actually. So what is the purpose of gate in front of your respective route or in front of your respective house. What is the purpose of the gate? What does it do?
Convert the different protocols.
To enter, right? To enter, right? To enter and to exit. To enter and exit. Right? Allow the traffic. In front of your room, you also allow your traffic. You, right? Entry and exit. Right? So to entry and exit your respective person. Right? Similarly, in the network as well. Right? Similarly, in the network as well, in the VPC as well, you have a gateway to entry and exit. This is your VPC. So inside this, you have two things. You call this one as a public, and you call this one as private. You call this one as a public, and this call as a private. Here you have a cider, right? Here you have a cider here. What is our cider here? Which is an 10.10.0.0/16. So I will discuss about the subnet, how you guys are going to calculate. Here you have two gateways. You call this one internet gateway. You call this one as an internet gateway. So internet gateway is going to attach to your VPC. Remember carefully. Whole VPC is going to be routed only one internet gateway. And your NAT gateway is going to be there on your respective public subnet. Now what is the gateway here? Gateway is for entry and exit point for your respective entry and exit point, right? For your respective for the VPC. So how many gateways are there? Two gateways. One is with internet gateway and second one is with NAT gateway. So the name in the sense, internet gateway, it will going to be provide the internet to your associated subnets. It will provide the internet to associated subnets, right? Associated subnets. Generally, in the real-time environment, the public subnets are going to be associated. Right? The public subnets are going to be associated here. Whereas the NAT gateway, it will provide the internet, right? It will provide the internet to provide associated subnets, right? To provide associated subnets via public subnets. Why via public subnet? Why via public subnet?
If directly given, it becomes like public subnet.
Yes. Actually, your EC2 instances and your databases are going to be associated on your respective private subnets. So RDS here, this is your ALB, right? This is your ALB. Where my ALB got settled down? Over the public. This is going to be registered with your targets, and this is going to be resides with your RDS. Right? This is how it works. Right? This is how it works. So now here, you guys need to understand about this public subnet is directly attached to the internet gateway. But this EC2 instances, it might be an application servers, it might be an web servers, it might be an database servers, it might be an any other service, right? So now here, all is one, right? All is one. If they require the respective internet, it will contact to the NAT gateway. It will route via NAT gateway here for the internet. This NAT gateway acts like a proxy here. It will contact to the internet gateway, and then it will provide the internet to the NAT gateway here. It will provide the internet to the respective private subnet resources. Am I clear on this? Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts here?
So it is
now
in between ALB. Sorry, yeah. So it is in between ALB and private network. So that box is in between that line, right?
What is in between here? No, those are settled down on the EC2. EC2s are settled down on the private subnet. Those are not in between. There are hosted on the private
Sir, I'm talking about the latest arrows which you draw, that through ALB I'm going to NAT gateway, and from that NAT gateway I'm reaching to EC2. Is it the correct way I'm understanding?
No, your understanding is wrong, Avinash. Listen carefully.
Okay.
So if I required an EC2 instances internet, right? For my EC2 instances, I require an internet. I contact the NAT gateway. NAT gateway will contact to the respective internet gateway.
Okay.
Right? Where is this arrow? Whether the arrow is in EC2 instances is contacting to here, it's contacting to the ALB. This arrow is not there, right?
Okay.
Where is my arrow actually?
Okay.
This EC2 instances is routing to the NAT, and if suppose they require internet, and the NAT gateway is going to route to the internet gateway to get the internet.
Okay.
This is how it works.
Okay, so for NAT gateway, the work is only to provide the internet
to the private subnet resources.
Okay. And for
Private
traffic incoming,
resources.
Yeah. So for traffic incoming, we will use ALB.
Yes, exactly. Why? Because my external end user is not unable to contact directly private subnet resources. He will not going to contact. Why? Because those are intra-network actually. He will not going to directly contact to the respective private subnet resources. He should contact via ALB only. If suppose he want to access the website www.amazon.in or any other website, right? He should contact via ALB only. But how come he is contacting to the ALB? Because that ALB is settled down on the public subnet that has exposed to the internet gateway. That's why.
And yeah, I got. Thank you. And the CloudFront is coming before ALB.
In CloudFront is coming before yes. It will come before ALB.
Okay.
Here the CloudFront doesn't comes into the picture. CloudFront is the outside of your VPC. outside of, because this was an externally managed by the AWS guys.
But that is
Outside of,
somehow related with our traffic only, right?
yeah, this is external. Only the thing is, you need to remember when you are using the CloudFront, you should not create your respective ALB in the private subnets. You should create your ALB in the public subnets, because via CloudFront will reach via internet gateway only. They will not going to reach via the respective private subnets.
Okay, fine, sir.
That is pretty good question actually. CloudFront comes with the ALB, and the ALB will going to be posted on the public subnet. Good question. Am I clear on this? This is how your works. Complete. This is only the thing you guys are going to be there in your real-time environment. Right? Nothing else. This is only the way you guys are going to be enabled in your respective real-time environment. So that is one main important thing here. And the secondly, am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts here as of now?
So basically, for any other users want to access any instances for the multiple instances via ALB as a public network, that public internally using NAT gateway, these instances are connecting. So the ALB is a kind of acting as a gateway between these instances via uh, private to public network they're changing, and users are accessing using public network, correct?
That is which protocol it will use. Can I connect your respective EC2 instances via ALB, via SSH protocol, via SSH service?
Yes.
Can I connect through that? Can I log in into the EC2 instance via ALB?
Yeah.
No. Only HTTPS traffic will going to be, what is ALB here? It will serve only HTTPS or HTTP, either 80 or 443. But where is my port is going to be listen for SSH? Which port is going to be listen?
22.
22. Then how to connect my respective EC2 instances? You need to install, you need to configure a VPN actually. You need to configure a VPN for that. If you want to connect the resources which are settled down in the private subnet, you need to connect to the VPN actually. Am I clear on this? This is how it works. So you need to connect to the VPN first. The end user, the administrator, want to perform any activity, right, on your respective EC2 instances. You need to connect to the VPN, and then you should log in into the EC2 instances. This is where virtual private network comes into the picture. This is what our third topic actually after VPCPL.
So if ALB is not available, not required, so we have only one
So
instance.
this is only for the website accessibility. This is to connect the end user. It's only the connect over the respective HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Suppose you want to access your www.amazon.in. So your ALB should reside on public subnet if it is open to the external world. If your admin want to connect your respective resources EC2, you need to connect to your VPN, you need to connect to your respective resources which are there on the private subnet.
So even though it is connected to NAT gateway, right? I have to go through VPN always because it has the internet access.
You need to go. Yeah, you need to go to the VPN only. NAT, what is my job here? It is just only for the entry and exit point, right? It will not act like a device. It will allow you, it will deny you, right? It's an entry and exit point. So how to enter? You need to enter via VPN. If I want to enter into the third floor, I need to take a lift or I need to take a steps. I cannot fly, right, directly. So what is my steps or lift here? VPN. If I want to connect my resources via SSH or via RDP as an administrator to perform administrative task, or if I want to connect your respective website, I comes via respective ALB. Clear?
Got it. Yeah, got it. Now I clear. Got it. So if you're using VPN, that should be a two security, right? Logging VPN, it's a security. Again, we are reaching out to
Is a
gateway
security
and
actually.
EC2.
That's why where is my VPN has settled down? On the which subnet it got settled down actually? Public subnet. Why? Because you guys need to connect your private subnet resources. This whole picture is got clear actually. Any questions, any doubts?
Just a quick question. So
Sorry?
far, whatever EC2 we have configured, right? Everything is on public network, right? Means whatever we are practicing so far, right? Because
Now
we are not
everything
using any
was
VPN
as
just to
of
log in.
nothing you guys. Now you are entering into the actual real time. How your setup is going to be configured. You are entering into this actual one. Right?
Mhm. Got it.
So now you are not using you don't have our own VPC, right? You are using the default AWS. Now you are configuring our resources on the respective our own VPC. Clear? That's how it works.
Yes, clear.
Can anyone summarize what you guys are understand? What is VPC? What is subnets? What is gateway? What is this respective public or private? How you guys are accessing your HTTP or HTTPS protocol, and how you guys are accessing the SSH protocol? Can someone summarize this one in just 2 minutes? Jiva, I think you are good at summarizing. Go ahead, so that everyone, if suppose someone has having any kind of gaps, they can fill those gaps actually. Jiva, go ahead. What do you understand about VPC? What do you understand about subnets? What do you understand about public? What is subnet? And what do you understand about private subnet? What is gateway? What is the purpose of NAT? What is the purpose of internet gateway? How the end user is accessing your website via ALB? How your administrative connecting to your EC2 resources, which are hosted on the private subnet? Can you summarize quickly?
Should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for as AWS networking, so if you want to reach out to any of the uh, site or maybe instances, so first there should be two networking like private and public network. So we can't access directly the private network. So using public network only, we are able to access any of the instances as well as any of the site. Actually, for example, site in the sense like www.amazon or Flipkart. For that, if you want to accessing the sites, so you have to use CLB, application load balancer. So the application load balancer will be residing on public network. Uh, uh,
Public subnet.
and sorry,
Public subnet.
that's public subnet, and so for accessing how the public, sorry, how the TLB is worked, like the EC2 instances which the application is hold uh, available, right? So for that, it via going via a NAT gateway. From the NAT gateway, it is going to the internet gateway. From that, we are able to access the ELB. And if you want to go to reach out the instance directly as an administrative, we have to go via VPN, from VPN to NAT gateway, from NAT gateway to the using the port SSH protocol. We are reaching out the EC2 instance. So we can't directly accessing basically the private network using public network. We have to access the any of the applications or as well as instances via the NAT gateway. Without NAT gateway, we can't directly reach out to any of this. So if anything I missed it, yeah, please
So
cover.
what is the purpose of VPC? What does it do? Why should I need to host or create my respective resources in my own VPC? What happened if suppose I created over the what happened if suppose I created the respective resources in the within not in the VPC, just isolated. What is CADS stands for? What does it do? What is CADS stands for? What does it do?
We are assigning the network range.
Yeah, you guys are going to use your respective network range, right? For your respective VPC. What is the purpose of subnets?
So dividing the networks.
Yeah,
So
logically dividing the networks, right? For the effective use of IP address. What is the public subnet stand for? What does it do? The public subnets are going to associate with the internet gateway, right? Whereas private subnets are going to be associated to the NAT gate, right? So now here you guys are going to be configure your respective VPC here. Again, I'm been requesting you to share your respective credentials again. Don't have time to create my own now. Can someone share the logins?
same you remember, or you want me to share it?
I forgot actually. I never shared.
Okay.
Yeah. Just share me on one.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
so I don't want to make it complicated, but I was observing the Kong has been implemented in our environment. So where does it stands here now in our whole picture?
Cognito.
Kong, 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 the API gateway. I mean,
API gateway doesn't comes into our network. That is different for that is for microservice. That is completely whole different approach actually. Not comes into our area here. That is for microservices management. Or you guys are using the Lambda here, or you guys are using to call your from the UI to the backend services. You guys are using the API gateway. That is completely the development. Yeah.
so it will sit in between EC.
No. That if I discuss that area is completely medicine. This area is complete engineering.
Okay.
You will confuse them. So better I don't want to confuse the people with discussing about the Kong of AWS API gateway. So that is different funda. Altogether, it's a different funda actually.
Okay.
But I will
Sorry.
explain about API gateway functionality in later topics, not in this topic actually. How where it will sit. What is the purpose of the Kong that I will discuss in the additional once I completed the phase 2. Right? API gateway.
Okay.
Those are
That will be great. Thank you.
that is one. So now, yeah. So here now you guys are creating our own VPC here. Within our own VPC, you guys are designing our respective the respective VPC here. Just give me a second, guys. Just 1 minute. I will be back in 1 minute. Okay, so now we'll create our own VPC and we'll enable our respective services in our own VPC, right? So now what is the first thing you guys need to select about your own VPC? Create a VPC and you need to cite. I'm making this one as a prod VPC, right? Prod VPC here, and what is the CIDR I'm been using? 10.10.0.0/16. This is the CIDR I'm been using here, right? 10.10. This CIDR I'm been using actually. So now here, this is my VPC here. The VPC ID is pretty important. Right? The VPC ID is pretty important here. That's how it works. Right? The VPC ID is pretty important. That's how it works here. So now what is my CIDR? It's 10.10.0.0/16 here. 10.10.0.0/16 here. So that's how it works. So now what you guys are going to do? So now here what you guys are going to do? You guys are going to be enabled, right? You guys are going to be enabled here with regards to the, right? You guys are going to be enabled to the with regards to the subnets. So listen carefully. Can I create, if my CIDR is in the range of 10.10.0.0/16, can I create the subnets with 192 dot? Can I create the subnet 192.168.1.0/24? Can I create this, my subnets, if my CIDR is 10.10.0.0? No. Within this range only you guys need to create. Remember, within this range only you guys need to create. That is how it works, right? So now here in this range I'm going to create a respective public subnets, right? Respective public subnets and respective private subnets here, right? Private subnets here, right? This is how. So one is with the public subnet and second one is the private subnet, right? Public subnets as well as private subnets here. So these public subnets here, I want to isolate, I want to use the effective way of VPC. I will use 10.10.1.0/24. If I use 1.0/24, how many IP address I'm going to get here? 1.0/24. So 10.10.1.0/24. How many IP address I'm going to get here? It's around 10.10.1.12, 10.10.1.254. 10.10.1.254. Right? 10.10.1.254 here. Right? This is what I am going to get. So then how many hosts I can create in this subnets? 256 hosts I'm going to create. If I want more than 256, let's say suppose I want more than 500, then I need to go with 10.10.1.0.22. So it will create 1000 hosts for me within that respective subnet. Am I clear on this? What I'm trying to say, every one of you. Any questions, any doubts here? Am I clear on this?
You mentioning the range 10.10.0.0, right? So if I want to you have to want to create a network, it should be like 10.10.0.1 like that, right? So you're on the third octet, you are mentioning one, right? So what is meaning this one?
I started, see, this is what the octet will start, right? Basically where these octets are going to start here, from here, not from here. That's why this third octet I have filled with 1.0. If I fill for 0.1, I'm starting with the fourth octet. It should go via this, right? From right to left. This is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. That's why the third octet is 1. If I use 0 here, if I use 1, I'm starting with fourth octet. Doesn't make sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I started with 1.0. Am I clear on this? So now, this is where you guys are going to be creating this one. 10.10.1.0/22. So which is how many hosts you guys are going to get? 1024 hosts. And how many IP address you guys are going to get? 10.10.0.12, 10.10.3.254. That's how it's going to work, right? So now here you guys need to understand here. So in this, create a subnet, select your respective VPC, not with the default VPC. So here, this is only for 1A availability zone. So 1A availability zone. And this is only for 2A availability zone here. Right, 2A availability zone here. And this is only for 3A availability zone here. This is only for 3A availability zone here. Right, 3A availability zone here. So this is where I can segregate. This is where I can use my respective subnets. This is where I can use my respective subnets. This is how it's going to work. And here, yeah. So and here, what is this actually? This is also a virtual calculator. Okay, fine. I prefer to go with actually the judos.de, but now I think this website got down actually. It's not showcasing the actual. I prefer to go with that actually /24. I prefer to go with this judos.de. This is pretty good website actually for you, but it is not working as expected. Right? That's a different story. But here, this is one also good. Right? So now here, similarly, you need to use for your respective provide availability zones. Actually, I'm going with 23. So if I'm going with 23, I need to go with the respective 6.023. So remember, if I use 23, I need to verify my result actually. So 6.23 in this sense, how many objects are going to be filled actually? 512. It will start from 10.10.6.0 to 10.7.254. Now 7 got filled. So now here it's 7 got filled. I'm going with the 9. I'm going to use the 10.10.9.0/23. So this is with 9 actually. So 9.0/23 here. This is going to be had from 9.23 here. So it will have from the 10.10.8.0 to 10.10.9.254. Right. Again, I'm going with I will go with 12 actually. 10.10.12.0/23. Why I am using the 23 for the private subnet? Why not 23 for the public subnet? Is there any reason here? Because the private subnets are really required with the high devices actually, the high host, because all your resources are going to be hosted on the private subnet. Now, not only the two resources, one is with your application load balancer, and second one is the and second one is the cloud front. Actually, you guys are going to use this in the cloud front. You guys are going to use this respective stuff. That is one main important thing actually. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts?
Sir, so
Yeah.
so recently I heard. So the question is like, instead of filling a short for number of IPs, why don't we select /22 instead of /20?
Yeah, you can use. That depends. You can use. There is nothing wrong in that. You can use.
And let's say I am selecting that subnet. I mean, I want to avail those many IPs. So does that AWS charges for that?
No, 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 they will not. For these are private IP address. These are not public IP address. That's
Okay.
one thing you guys need to remember. These are private IP address. There is no charge for the private IP address.
Okay.
Right? Now that's how it works actually. Right? You can go with 20, you can go with 30, you can go with the 20, or you can go with 19, you can go with 18 as well. But you should aware how to differentiate with the help of this calculator. Right? Because if you not properly created, it will create a, right, it will create a the respective overlap of your respective networks, overlap your respective subnets. That's how it works. Now this, with the help of this theory, you guys are going to create a subnets here. With the help of this theory, you guys are going to create a subnets here in your respective VPC, both public as well as private subnets. So I would like to create prod public 1. This is going to be there on the 1A. So this is going to be there. Right, create a subnet. So prod public subnet 2. This is going to be there on the AB1. So create this respective subnet here for the prod. So now similarly, you can also create. So enable the naming convention with the same proper naming format here. Right. So create a subnet here. So I would like to go with, now 2 subnets are fine for me. You can also go with the 3. So private subnet 3, sorry, 1 over the 1A availability zone. And similarly, what is the range here you guys are going to give? This is the range. This all, what is the range, what does it do, and how this is going to be created, those things you need to check with your respective solution architect. Right. So your solution architect will going to be help you to create this respective network diagram for you. You guys just need to implement it. So that is your duty actually. If you are working as a solution architect, then it's a different from that. Right. Provide subnet -2, and this is going to be there. All right, this is one thing. Right. And create the respective subnets. So 2 subnets each I have created. You can also create the 3 subnets if you want. 2 or 3 availability zones need to be there. Right. 2 is fine for me for this practical, so I am using the 2 actually. Right. This is how it going to works. So we'll continue. We'll create our respective internet gateway here and attach it to your VPC. So prod internet gateway. Right. Go for attach. Attach your respective production VPC. Right. Attach your respective production VPC. Now here you guys need to ensure that, right, here you guys need to ensure that NAT gateway, where I need to create a NAT gateway here. Prod NAT gateway, where I need to create the NAT gateway, which subnets? Public subnet. So prod public subnet 1, allocate your elastic IP address for your NAT gateway and create a NAT gateway here. Right, create a NAT gateway here. That's how it works. Right, that's how it works here. So now this is where you guys are going to be using this respective NAT. This is how you guys are going to be creating your respective, right, respective gateways. This is how it works. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts here?
Sir, so we are only segregating, right?
Yes.
So currently we are just looking at segregation and arranging the IP addressing and making the paths to reach our end
Yes.
end EC2s. And now the question comes here for how will you secure everything? What
Yeah. That is comes. That will be there. It will take some more time to complete the practicals, securing all those stuff. You are coming from step by step actually. Right.
So the
Okay,
VPC we
let's
are
start
creating,
with.
right? That one, now only we get only VPC, right? So because availability zones like 1A, 1B, like that would be comes under subnet, or in VPC also we can able to create that.
No, VPC isn't over the region actually, complete over the region. Subnets come within the availability zones.
Okay. So while creating subnets only, we have to make sure we have to creating with the each region, right? We B.
For your high availability. Right. Fine guys, we'll stop it by today and we'll continue by tomorrow.